partner mo or your potential partner mo is touch and you just don't like that, you're not gonna work out, really. It's hard dating na in a culture na everybody thinks, sex is a step na you need to take.
At The Backdoor. Today we're going to talk about asexuality. If you're new here, I'm your host, Evan Evangelista, and today we are joined by Jastine. Hi!
Hi!
How are you?
Okay.
Alright, so asexuality. What is asexuality? Can you please explain to our viewers?
So, asexuality is when people have little to no interest in sex and having sexual relations.
How did you know that you're asexual? Like, when did you find out?
So, I was around 15, and I guess that was around the time people my age started to talk about sex and masturbation, and with magazines available and porn on the internet. And I just realized I didn't really like watching porn or doing all of that. And when people were talking about it, so I grew up in an all-girls Catholic school. So when they talked about it covertly and like, oh, this is exciting, it's taboo and all that. I didn't feel much for it. So I guess in their mind it was more like, oh, she's so prim and proper Catholic schoolgirl instead of something else.
So that must be like really hard and confusing growing up.
Yeah, it was.
And I know that asexuality is also a spectrum.
Yes.
Can I also ask you where you are on that spectrum?
Yes. Okay, so if you look at the asexuality flag, there's like the color black, gray, white, and purple. So black is for people.
Oh, like your eyeshadow.
Yes. There's a flag. So my trans brother did this. So the black one is no sexuality. So you don't like having sex at all, thinking about it. And then the gray is for more of, maybe you've heard of the term demisexuals.
Yeah.
So gray is what you call asexual. So maybe you're in the middle, leaning to no, or like to the white, which is yes, you're pro-sex. And then purple is for the supporters of the asexuals, the community of the asexuals. So it's a spectrum. There are people who are against sex, very averse to all of that. There are people naman who are pro-sex, they just don't want to participate. That doesn't mean that you can't talk about it, you can't discuss it openly in front of them. I'm kind of in like the gray area with things. So I don't participate in it. I'm okay with hearing about it if you want to tell me about it. But I don't think I would openly like want to discuss things like that.
For me, because we are living in a third world country, it's Catholic, and you came from an all-girls school.
Yeah.
Ang nangyari kasi sa akin, naging, what do you call this? Like, it's like a huge taboo. Like, there's so much shame in it. So, like, how do you navigate through that? Like, how do you know that it's not, you're not coming from a place of shame, but you're really asexual?
When I was in senior high, I had a reputation for being a slut, even though I wasn't. So it's a very confusing, position to be in. And I think awareness, like more knowledge was key to that. Like there's celibacy. Now you're abstaining from sex for usually religious reasons. So like kung magpapari ka, magmamadya ka, you don't do sex because of celibacy. And then there's the term incels, so that's involuntary celibates. So people sometimes use it on the internet to parang they can't get laid, so they say that they're celibate. Pero that's just because people want to have sex with them. So parang I think learning more about the different terms has made me parang be able to accept myself na, okay, it's okay na I'm like this. That.
So you have a reputation as a slut.
Yeah.
So it must be a shock for them to learn that you're asexual. Like, did you have to come out?
I came out to a few people prior to having that reputation, but after I kind of lost contact with those people. So when I did come out to other people, they didn't really know about like the before. I came out to my mom, but she didn't really get it. Like, for example, when I went here, she knew I was gonna have an interview. And then she asked, tungkol saan yung interview? And I said, about asexuality. And then she asked, ano yun? We already have this. So like, I've come out to her 3 times before. And I've in-explain ko na lahat. Describe ko rin na, diba, ibang kind. Pero kanina yung parang, there's gray asexuals and all that. You know, if a person just doesn't care, parang whoosh. Yeah. I have a brother who's trans. I have a sister who identifies as a lesbian. They're very, you know, they're in the mindset naman na I want to know more about, you know, gender and sexuality. And they're very supportive about this. So I'm glad I have that community. With my friends, I've only actually told like a handful of them. I guess kasi nga I really grew up in a Catholic schoolgirl thing. They don't get it really. So parang we gloss over it. So I don't really have a lot of like coming out stories kasi we usually gloss over it. Or what happens is they research on their own and then they ask me, which is the best way and I find it.
Does it feel like a necessary step to come out for you?
For me, it did not feel necessary. Kasi I'm okay rin naman with hearing stuff. I typically don't tell people, like, have I had a sexual explored here and there. I don't tell people rin naman. So it hasn't really affected in terms of, like, friends and, like, family. So for me, okay lang na medyo weird sila with the whole asexuality thing.
So what about dating? Like, how does that work?
So it's harder with the whole coming out thing with dating. For example, if you're familiar with the 5 love languages, so I think that's words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical affection. So even if you're like a boss at all 4 of them, if yung top nung person, yung partner mo or your potential partner mo is touch and you just don't like that, you're not gonna work out, really. So it's been hard dating na in a culture na everybody thinks, you know, sex is a step na you need to take.
Yeah. Do you have like weird interactions with people you're dating?
Yeah, usually. So I've dated men and women. I've noticed a trend now with men when I say I'm asexual. So I've learned to be upfront with it, rather than, you know, say it later on and then they ghost you.
Yeah.
And so sometimes they say, yeah, I know what it is. And then they tell me what they think it is and it's wrong. So sometimes I try to explain what it is. Pero, I don't know, have you heard of cookie analogy?
No.
Like, if you've never tasted the cookie, you don't know that you don't want the cookie. So their analogy is, if you've never had sex or you've never done this specific sex thing, how do you know that you don't want it? But the thing is, you know, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. And so I've learned over the years na if it gets to that point, you're not a person I see a future with if you just think na you have to goad me into doing stuff like that. So that's been the hard part of dating. Now other people comment on it, they're naman na, oh, it's hard kasi the people I've dated, usually either first or second nila yung physical touch. And I'm kind of okay with like holding hands and hugging and all that. Pero I don't know, it's the meaning people put into it. You get that? Yeah. Yung parang, oh, it's too long. They're thinking something else. So parang it frazzles me and then wala na, parang weird na for me. So I've been in a relationship where the guy cheated on me because I wouldn't kiss him. So we've been together for like 3 weeks. And then I think I told him, maybe it's not, I don't think I can kiss you like right now. Maybe, you know, very open-ended. And then on the same day, I told him I loved him for the first time. He made out with 2 people because I wouldn't kiss him. So, you know.
Okay, let's pause the video. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I just have to tell you about this amazing product called P-Cloud. Did you know that I always have so many pictures on my phone and way too many files on my laptop? Everything around me is running out of space. Then, I found pCloud. I can now store all of my files, photos, and music into my pCloud. The cool thing about pCloud is it's cheap, efficient, and I don't have to worry about anyone hacking into my account because the cloud storage is impenetrable. It is the most efficient cloud service out there. In pCloud, I can organize all of my files and have them sync directly from my phone. I can even give my friends access to the files and invite them to. So check out the links down below and let's go back to the video.
All right, so enough of toxic men. So how does the world actually view asexuality, do you think? I don't think it's really represented well in media.
Yeah, usually especially in Western shows, parang you're more successful if you banged more people than if you don't. Diba, virgins are stereotyped as being, really frigid and losers.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say.
they do that. So my favorite series, it's called House MD. They did this one episode about asexual. So it's a medical show. Even though I love the series, the way that they did it was they parang debunked the myth of asexuality. So there was this patient na he's asexual and his girlfriend's also asexual, and the doctor's like, wow, that doesn't happen. Even though asexuals are around like 1% of the population, so that's around 1 million people or more. And so at the end of the episode, they discovered na, oh, he just had, I think, a flaccid dick, and then they fixed it, and then he's not asexual anymore. So even when it's shown on media, it's shown in a really bad way.
Yeah, it's like a disorder.
Yeah, but it hurts the community more. I wish that there was more, asexual representation in media, like in Western media and sana in local media as well. Like, I don't think may term nga yung asexuals pag pinilipino mo. Yeah, like if there is, I'm not aware of it.
Comment down below.
Like if you know what it is.
Yeah. So how do you want asexuality to be presented sa media? If you're like a rich producer, you can just produce anything.
Okay. I wish they'd talk about how, yes, it's a spectrum. That's a really nice question. A lot of people don't understand na it's a spectrum. You can identify as an asexual at any point in your life, even if you've had no sexual experience, even if you've had lots of sexual experiences. It's a gender thing. You can identify as that, and then not all asexuals are completely averse. Now, don't talk about sex in front of me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Not all asexuals are like that, but there are asexuals like that, and we should really, respect them. So I think it would be great if we could see, different types of asexuals. Like maybe just one, because, we're still starting baby steps. But it would be really nice if like all the different types, para they see na, like how bisexuals, they're not just one kind of bisexual. In media na parang 80%, I like 80% guys, 20% girls lang. Like it can vary and all that. I think parang mas forward na with bisexuals. So I think I would love something like that to happen with asexuals na you don't have to be a straight 50-50 with the whole black and white thing.
So besides media, how do you think the world could be more accepting towards asexuals?
I think it should start within the own community, like the LGBTQIA plus community. For example, I know this guy, he owns one of these paraphernalia stores here in the Philippines. And then before, so we were close friends, and then he talked to me, and then he was talking about all the different members of the community because he was talking about the new products. And then he went like, because asexuals, they're just straight trying to be interesting parang back and forth. Knowing full well. So I came out to this person. So ganun ko siya a close friend. I came out to this person. He's known that I've been asexual for a long time. And he says that. So what if I'm just nobody, diba? So parang, I think it should start within the community. Now you care na about Soji, you know what that means. Sexual orientation, gender, So you know what it means. And so, be more respectful to people.
Yeah. Yun ang mahirap no? That within your community pa, like there's things like that that's happening. So yeah, just be more Respectful, guys. That's it. It's so easy. So, Justine, do you have anything to say to our viewers or our asexual viewers?
So, I hope you know that you're not alone. You're not weird for feeling that way. And if you're unsure whether you're asexual or not, that's perfectly fine. It is a spectrum. What you're feeling is valid. And I wish we had a more open community about it, so we can talk about these things. Because we're talking about things, there's acceptance and there's more understanding for everyone.
Thank you so much, Justine. I really appreciate it. I really learned a lot, and I hope you guys also learned so much from this video. Comment down below if you did, and yeah, we would love to hear from you. We would answer questions down below in the comment section so we can start talking about the sexuality and have more understanding about it. So if you love this video, please like this video, also share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell down below, and I'll see you guys in our next videos. Bye! When you were doing the hand gesture, that meant I should talk more, right?
I didn't do any hand gestures.
Oh,
I
thought sa...
I didn't.
The peripheral
was
vision.
like-
Oh no.
I should ask more questions.
No. I think that was perfect, right? Yeah.